Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I'm going to read this book. I was a third grade science project. It's by Mary Jane Ock. Illustration by Herm Ock. It's chapter book, so let's start with chapter 1. Having a genius for a friend can be real trouble. I know because my best friend is Brian Lewis. All the other kids in third grade call him Brain. I don't because he don't like it. He calls me Josh, even though some kids call me Bird Brain. It's not that I'm stupid, but when you hang around with a genius, you don't look like the smartest person in the world. I could see trouble coming when Mrs. Metz made the big announcement. Boys and girls, now that you are third grader, you will get to enter a project in the Ontario Elementary Science Fair. I know, you have all been looking forward to it. There was a man in the back of the room from Doggy Hanks who thought the only thing to look forward to in school was the last bell. Mrs. Metz shot him a look and kept going. I'm going to let you pick your own partners. You need to plan an experiment and work with it at home for the next 3 weeks. You will keep journals of your observations and they will be judged for originality. Emily Venable waved her hand frantically. Will this count toward our grade, Mrs. Metz? Yes, Emily, it will be the part of your science grade, but there are even more at stake here. The 3 winning teams for each classroom will present their project on Parents' Night. A grand prize team will be picked from each grade level and they will get free passes for the families to use at Wonderland Lake this summer. Even I was interested in this. Wonderland Lake just happened to be the best amusement park in the whole state. We hardly ever got to go because Dad said it was too expensive. Emily's hand was waving again. Who are the judges, Mrs. Metz? This class will be judged by the other third grade teachers and the principal. None of us will be judging our own classes until Parents' Night, when all of the judges will vote on the grand prize winners. Emily slumped back into her chair. Being teacher's pet wasn't going to get her any points this time. Mrs. Metz passed out instruction sheets and went on to explain what an experiment was. I heard her saying things like observation and recordings results, but I was not paying much attention. I was remembering my first and only ride on a Screaming Mimi Wonderland's roller coaster. I threw up 3 times. It was the best ride I ever had been on. I didn't bother to listen to the instruction because Brian would find out what we needed to know. Sure enough, his head was bobbing up and down like a yo-yo by the time Mrs. Metz finished. You can take the time because between now and end of the school, to find a partner and talk about what you want to do, Mrs. Metz said. I will have a sign-up list ready on Monday. Brian's desk was right next to mine. He leaned across the aisle. We will be partners, right? Got any ideas? I tried to remember what we have seen when our second grade teacher had taken us through last year's science fair exhibit. We could do one of those paper mache volcanoes and green goop oozing out of it, I said. Brian frowned. Lava is red when it's hard. Besides, you heard what Mrs. Metz said. We are being judged on originality. The volcano has been done a million times. We need something we can watch every day and take notes on. Brian was very big on taking notes in cursive. He scribbled in his notebook. We need to observe something growing or changing. Okay, I've got it, I said. How about we plant seed in 2 pots? Then we will water one and not the other and see which one grows best. That's not fun, Brian said. We know which one will grow best. Mrs. Metz never said it had to be fun, I said. I was planning to be the one to not water the plants. Brian got a faraway look in his eyes. We have to think of something nobody ever done before, he said. I could sense trouble coming. If you're dreaming up another flying garbage can project and you want me to be the test pilot, you can forget it. My flying and crashing days are over. The final bell snapped Brian out of his trance. Never mind, he said. We will come up with a great project when you sleep over tonight. I arrived at Brian's house right after dinner. The Lewises were still eating when I got there. So have a seat, George, Mrs. Lewis said. Would you like some Kunia pilaf? She held out a bowl of tiny round things that had little white worms wrapped around them. No thanks, Mrs. Lewis. I ate already. I would have said that even if I was starving. Quinoa is very high in protein, Josh. This is a very great eaten by the ancient Incas. It was one of their staples along with corn and potatoes. Did you know that? I didn't, but if the stuff has been around that long, that would explain the worms. Brian must have read in mind. The white things are not worms, Josh. It's just a germ of the grain. Germs? This was supposed to make me feel better. Poor Brian never got a normal meal. As soon as he was excused, Brian dragged me up to his room. His dog, Arful, followed us. Arful is a mixture of dog breeds, all of them huge and hairy. He was saved from the dog pound by Brian's mother. When Arful stood on his hind legs, he could put his paws on my shoulder and lick my face. Now he was licking the fried chicken grease from a dinner. He seems pretty excited about it. Probably never tasted fried chicken before. Mrs. Lewis never fried anything. Brian picked up his notebook and a pencil. Did you come up with any idea yet? I shrugged. No, not unless you want to do the plan thing. Brian rolled his eyes. I hate it when he does that. I didn't mind him being a genius, but he doesn't have to act like I'm stupid. Okay, he said. How about we measure your height, then you eat my mother's healthy food every meal for the next 3 weeks? Then we will measure you again to see how much you have grown. How about we have you eat your mother's healthy food and measure you? Brian rolled his eyes again, which made me want to smack him. That's not going to prove anything. I'm already eating healthy. We need someone who eats junk all the time like you. How about you eat junk and we'd see if you shrink, I said. Brian put down his pencil. I will think of something later. Let's go watch TV. Brian gets to watch more TV than any kid I know. His father is a psychiatrist who had this theory that Brian is so smart if he figure out which things are good for him and which things are not. So if Brian isn't sleepy, he can stay downstairs and watch TV until 3 in the morning and nobody yells at him. That night, Dr. and Mrs. Lewis watched TV with us until they got tired. Mrs. Lewis went out to the kitchen and came back with 2 glasses and a bowl. We're turning in for the night, but here's a bedtime snack for you, boys. Papaya juice and popped amaranth. Be sure to turn out the lights when you come upstairs. The juice wasn't bad, but the amaranth looked at it has been too pooped to pop. Brian dug right into it. We watched an old black and white cowboy movie. I fell asleep about halfway into it. I was dreaming about riding a horse across a plains when suddenly the horse began bucking and jumping. It was Brian shaking me. Josh, wake up. This is what we can do for our project. To what? I mumbled, trying to figure out where I was. Brian pushed up his glasses on and his nose and pointed to the TV screen. I just watched this guy hypnotize a whole bunch of people. It looks easy. I have been taking notes. I headed for the stairs. Hey! Where are you going? To bed. There's no way I'm going to let you hypnotize me. I'd rather get a D in the science. Brian held up his hands. No, wait, I wasn't going to hypnotize you. I stopped at the stairs. Well, I only see 2 people in the room, and if you are the hypnotized, that makes me the person who is getting out of here. There are 3 people in this room, Brian said. He jerked his head towards the corner where Arthur was snoring softly. Arthur, you're going to hypnotize the dog. Brian motioned for me to come closer. I have to get some stuff ready first, so we will do it tomorrow, he whispered. I'm going to make Arthur think he's a cat. I bet nobody has ever done that before. You're going to make a dog think he's a cat? Shh. If he knows what we are trying to do, he might just be pretending to be a cat. Then we wouldn't know if he was really hypnotized or not. That's the thing about Brian. Sometimes he's genius, sometimes he's a pea brain. But that's what makes him interesting. And that's what always gets me into trouble. Alright guys, so next time I'll come with chapter 2 from the same book. So till then, have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and push on the notification button. Till then, wait for more chapters to come. Take care. Bye bye.